lights on. Every night, I check the locks, draw the curtains, do everything to keep the outside out, because something is still out there. It called to us once from the deep woods. I'm afraid it will call again, from the shadows in my own home, and this time, I don't think a simple light will be enough. This isn't a plea for sympathy. It's a warning. Some things, once seen, can never be unseen. Some fears, once awakened, never sleep. I learned that the hard way. And now, so will you. It all began with a book. No title, just black leather, cold to the touch, and a spiral symbol that hurt to look at. I found it in my grandfather's attic. He collected oddities, but this was different. The pages were brittle, handwritten in a language I didn't know, with maps of a place called Whispering Valley, notes in the margins. Thin, doorway, it calls. Mark was excited when I showed him. David was creeped out, but Mark's enthusiasm won. We packed our gear, and I brought the book, telling myself it was just for navigation, but it felt like a key, though I didn't know to what. We set off on a sunny Friday, 3 friends chasing adventure. We had no idea what we were really walking into. The book felt important, like it wanted to be found. We were young, foolish, and thought we were invincible. The forest on the map was uncharted, a mystery waiting to be solved. We wanted to be pioneers, but some places are forgotten for a reason. We followed the map, not knowing some doors are best left closed. The sun was shining, the mood was light. We were just 3 friends, looking for an adventure, but the darkness was already waiting, and the book was our invitation. We answered. The first sign came our first night. We set up camp as the map showed, fire crackling, everything peaceful. Then, as the sun vanished, a wave of unnatural cold swept in. Sudden, bone deep, wrong. Even the fire seemed to shrink from it. Then came the whispers, soft, hissing, everywhere at once. Not the wind, not animals, something else. The tone was mocking, malicious, like secrets just out of reach. David heard it too. Mark tried to laugh it off, but he was scared. The whispers would stop, then return, closer, each time. It felt like we were being watched, toyed with. We huddled by the fire, but the darkness pressed in. The woods were no longer empty. We were not alone. The cold and the whispers were just the beginning. We tried to convince ourselves it was nothing, but deep down, we knew better. Something was out there, and it knew we were here. The whispers faded, replaced by a silence so heavy it felt suffocating. We tried to sleep, but every sound jolted us awake. Then the knocking started, a slow, deliberate thump from the darkness. No doors in the woods, but it sounded like something striking a tree, patient and methodical. Mark called out, David replied, but the knocking only moved closer, circling us. We were trapped in our tents, surrounded by darkness and that relentless sound. It was a predator, testing us. The rhythm never changed, a constant reminder we didn't belong. We stayed awake, listening as it moved around our camp. Sometimes far, sometimes terrifyingly close. The sun felt impossibly distant. We were just 3 frightened figures in an ancient forest. We realized we were trespassers. The forest wanted us gone. The night felt endless. We waited for dawn, hoping it would save us, but the fear stayed, and so did the knocking. Dawn broke, the knocking stopped, and the woods came alive again, but the fear lingered. We packed up, desperate to leave, but the forest had other plans. As we hiked, a new sound began, a voice, calling David's name. It sounded exactly like Mark, but flat, emotionless. Mark was right beside us, pale with fear. The voice tried to lure David off the path, imitating us, promising safety. We held David back as he trembled, mesmerized by the call. Then the voice changed, using my own voice, cold and hollow. It was a violation. Our identities twisted into weapons. We realized this was no animal. It was intelligent, and it understood us. The forest was hunting us, using our own voices. We clung to each other, terrified. The calls grew more desperate, more manipulative. We knew we had to keep moving. The thing in the woods wanted to separate us. We refused to let it, but the fear was overwhelming. We were being hunted by something that knew us. And that was the most terrifying part. We ignored the calls and forced ourselves onward, but the forest twisted around us. The trail vanished, landmarks disappeared, and the sun was hidden. We were lost. Utterly lost. The map was useless, as if we'd stepped off the edge of the world. The voices kept coming, imitating loved ones, sowing doubt and fear. It was relentless, trying to break us apart. We clung together, our only defense against the hostile wilderness. Time lost meaning. We were exhausted, terrified. The forest felt alive, malevolent, pressing in on us. It wanted to consume us. The dread was soul-crushing, making us feel small and powerless. We stumbled on, driven by instinct and the will to survive. To stop was to surrender. We didn't speak anymore, there was nothing left to say. We just walked, praying for a sign, a way out, but the forest offered only more shadows, more stolen voices. It was a living nightmare, and we were trapped inside it. The only way out was to keep moving. Late afternoon, as light faded, we crossed a stream. David stopped, staring at something we couldn't see. He pointed, silent with terror. Then suddenly, he was gone, vanished without a sound. Mark and I froze, staring at the empty space where David had stood. Panic set in. We screamed his name, searched the banks, but there was nothing. It was as if the forest had swallowed him whole. The calls stopped. The woods fell silent, a triumphant, satisfied silence. Then, just as suddenly, David reappeared on the far bank, soaking wet, eyes wide and blank. He didn't see us, just stared ahead, trembling. We rushed to him, desperate for answers. He didn't respond, just stood there, lost. Minutes passed before he looked at us, and the look in his eyes was pure madness. He'd seen something no one should see. The forest had taken him, even if just for a moment. We realized then, we were not just lost, we were prey. The forest was playing with us, and it wasn't done yet. We had to get out. Now. But the forest wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. David never told us what he saw. Maybe he couldn't. He remembered only the cold, and something vast and hungry touching his mind. After he returned, the forest seemed to release us. The trail appeared, clear as day. We half-carried David, who was in shock, muttering, eyes darting to the trees. The woods were silent, but it felt like we were being watched, allowed to leave, but marked. At the car, we drove away without looking back. David spent a week in the hospital, changed forever, quiet, fearful, afraid of the dark. Mark and I tried to return to normal, but we couldn't. We agreed never to speak of Whispering Valley. We tried to convince ourselves it was a hallucination. But we knew the truth. The cold, the voices, the thing that took David. It was all real. The black book sat on my shelf, a silent reminder. We escaped the forest, but not its shadow. Some things follow you home. Some doors, once opened, never close. We learned that too late, and the darkness never really left. Months have passed. Life looks normal, but the fear never left. I sleep with the lights on, jump at noises, can't stand silence. It's too much like the forest. I haven't seen David since he moved away. Mark and I barely talk. The book is still here. I tried to burn it, throw it away. It always comes back. It sits on my shelf, a patch of darkness in my lit room. I never open it. I don't need to. The memories are enough. Sometimes, I feel a cold presence from it. A reminder of the woods. That's why I'm telling you this. Last night I heard a sound. A voice, flat and emotionless, calling my name from the book. It's not just in the woods anymore. I brought it home. Or maybe it followed me. If you ever find a map to a place that shouldn't exist, burn it. If you hear a voice in the woods that sounds familiar, run. Some doors are not meant to be opened. Some calls are not meant to be answered. The darkness is patient. It waits for the curious. And once it finds you, it never lets go. I learned that the hard way. Now so have you. Sleep with the lights on.